Chair King, members of the Board of Trustees, honored guests, distinguished faculty, officers, family, and friends, on the occasion of the 164th commencement of the Cooper Union for the Advancement of Science and Art, it is my great privilege as president to welcome you to this historic Great Hall. It is my great honor to present the members of the class of 2024. Please rise and join me in applauding this graduating class for all of their exceptional work and accomplishments. Please stand to sing the national anthem with accompaniment by the Nils Vigeland Brass Ensemble. Thank you. Please be seated. Malcolm King, Chair of the Cooper Union Board of Trustees, will offer a greeting.
Thank you. Good morning and congratulations to the class of 2024, and a warm welcome to your families and your friends. Vice President of Academic Affairs, Demetrius Udell, will deliver today's invocation. Please stand and join me in welcoming Dr. Udell.
Good morning. Thank you. I share this message with all present on this extraordinary day, with all loved ones who are not with us, and with all others for whom we seek guidance. It is our privilege to gather here together in this hallowed room and celebrate a step forward for the class of 2024. Peter Cooper addressed the graduates of Cooper Union in 1871, sharing that at the age of 80, through his experience, I have learned lessons which, if I could induce you, my young friends, who have your future before you, and others who have left their past behind them, to lay them to heart and to practice in the conduct of life, would greatly lessen the evils of society and improve the condition of the land, the time in which we live. I wish you wisdom, steadfastness, empathy, and grace as you embark on your life's journey, which undoubtedly will improve the land and time in which we live.
morning, everyone. I'm thrilled to be with you and our trustees, faculty, staff, and deans. We are so very honored and proud to share in this joyous commencement day with all of you, our soon-to-be graduates, families, friends, and guests. To the class of 2024, this day is yours, and it is much deserved. You are seated here as students, but will soon walk across this stage and complete a rite of passage that distinguishes you as some of the very best and brightest graduates in the nation. You arrived at this milestone through determination to realize new ideas, solve problems, sharpen your skills and talents, uncover hidden possibilities, invest countless hours in your work, and push yourself beyond what was once only imaginable. Some of you may be the first in your family to complete college. Some of you may have taken a leap of faith in relocating far from home and finding your own way in an unfamiliar country or city. Whatever your journey looked like, it was not undertaken alone. Together, you challenged one another to be your best selves. You created new connections, and you sought inspiration in a community of your peers and mentors. You also had many allies and champions behind the scenes. Family members, friends, and loved ones, thank you. Thank you for being your Cooper graduates' most unwavering supporters. Today is your celebration as well. You have been there for them every step of the way through ups and downs at the times when they needed you most. Graduates, please join me in a round of applause to thank your greatest supporters and some of your earliest teachers. We also celebrate those who hold a special place in our graduates' lives but who could not be here, whether due to distance, circumstance, or a life not long enough to see this day. And we remember the class of 2024's own Ruman Khan, who is with us in spirit today. There is no higher occasion in this great hall than when we gather to recognize the potential that Cooper graduates carry into the world. And this commencement day is perhaps twice as meaningful for those who missed out on experiencing an in-person high school graduation. Many of you began your Cooper experience from behind a computer screen, while others had their first year suddenly disrupted by a global pandemic. A few of you made the difficult decision to delay your studies or perhaps faced personal obstacles or losses that make this milestone even more significant. All of you are seated here today as budding architects, artists, and engineers because you found ways to carry on your work, whether it meant putting together lab kits and making artwork in cramped apartments, rethinking your methods and mediums, or adjusting to a different timeline. But much more than that, you applied your thinking and practices to the broader issues of an uncertain reality, and in doing so, committed yourselves to the complicated, lifelong process of active citizenship. Your generation has come of age in a world that is unfixed. You arrived at Cooper in turbulent and uncertain times, and you are leaving here at another difficult moment. Right now, across the country, college students are voicing their anger, tremendous grief, and deep-seated convictions from different sides of an intense and painful divide. In New York City and within our own community, there are passionate voices and diverging perspectives on all sides of this issue. On the violence in the Middle East, the responsibility of U.S. institutions to advance peace, and the right to freedom of expression amid a surge of discrimination, intolerance, and charged rhetoric. In the coming months, we face a divisive election season that will similarly test the strength of our democracy. We must hold fast to the idea that our differences are a condition of, not an obstacle to, caring for our shared humanity. That principle remains the very foundation of the Cooper Union. Peter Cooper, who was a deeply religious man, established this place as a civic institution where people of all religions, genders, races, and economic classes could engage as participants in the public sphere. But he also knew that the work of civic engagement is never easy, that it sometimes entails irreconcilable truths. He founded this institution at a time when the nation was profoundly divided, soon to be torn apart by civil war. He believed that education and democracy are interlinked, that the advancement of science and art prepares individuals to navigate contradictions, conflicts, and discomfort of living in a pluralistic world. That is what our world calls on you to do. Your Cooper education has taught you to stand absolute in your commitment to the equality and dignity of all human beings, and to do so without backing away from your principles or denying the value of our differences. The realities of a democracy can feel at times like an impasse where the path to a better world seems closed off. Your job, when you leave this great hall, is to make change possible, to create necessary space for debate and dissent, as well as for empathy, healing, and understanding. I feel incredibly optimistic about the future of your generation and about the future that you'll build together, because I've already watched you shape the possibilities for change in your time here. When we returned to in-person learning, I witnessed your desire to be united as one institution. It was palpable in the sense of care you showed to one another and in your enthusiasm for collaboration, for making things, and for solving problems together. You mounted over 100 art student shows this year. You exhibited interdisciplinary teamwork in this year's VIP showcase, collaborated on groundbreaking Menschel Fellowship exhibitions, presented leading-edge biomedical research with graduate students and faculty at Mount Sinai, and led research seminars with your peers and professors. You revived Cooper's student newspaper, The Pioneer, brought the college yearbook to print for the first time in 5 years, and revitalized the rooftop garden as a space to bring people together across disciplines. Your research was recognized nationally for poster competitions and presentations of meetings of esteemed professional organizations. Many of you competed and took home awards in state, regional, and national competitions. You explored cutting-edge fields from computational chemistry to sustainable biochar research to the ethics of machine learning. And you came together to witness science in action during the solar eclipse. You constructed models and exhibitions for international biennials and world-class museums, including the Metropolitan Museum of Art here in New York. In your theses, capstones, and workshops, you explored questions and design problems that will inform new paradigms for responding to the housing crisis and climate change, for reimagining culture and education, pioneering assistive devices and medical treatments, connecting the globe through technologies and infrastructures, and promoting a more just and equitable society. Now, once you cross this stage, you will be on your way to places near and far. I know you are ready for what comes next, and you do too. You have been mentored and guided by an outstanding faculty of experts, some of the best in their fields, who have cared deeply about your success and will follow your progress in the years ahead. You've been supported by our hardworking staff who create an environment that fosters intellectual curiosity and growth. Graduates, please join me in a round of applause to thank your outstanding faculty and staff. Much like the path that led you here, you will not be going it alone. You will be surrounded by a globe-spanning network of Cooper alumni. I suspect most of you have already interacted with this network in one way or another and have a sense of how much our alumni give back to their community. Just a few weeks ago, Shigeru Ban, a 1984 Cooper alumnus and Pritzker award-winning architect, engaged Cooper students on a collaborative design-build project. Students in the building technology course worked with Shigeru Ban architects to fabricate his iconic paper log house here in the Great Hall and assemble it at the Philip Johnson Glass House campus in Connecticut, where it is now on view to the public. Similarly, School of Art students were treated earlier this semester to a private tour of 2014 alumna Emily Gossow's celebrated solo exhibition at the Queens Museum. We also frequently welcome alumni back to Cooper for talks and events, including a recent panel discussion on artificial intelligence and the arts, organized by 1988 mechanical engineering alumnus and IEEE tech ethics executive Mark Vasquez. And we had the privilege this academic year of not only hosting our biennial Augusta Savage Colloquium celebrating a remarkable 1925 alumna, but also for screening the brand new PBS documentary Searching for Augusta Savage, which explores her legacy as one of the most important sculptors and activists of the Harlem Renaissance. These are just a few of the countless ways that our alumni stay connected to this institution and model for the Cooper students behind them a larger sense of purpose, just as Peter Cooper envisioned. Shortly, you will walk across this storied stage. You will walk the very path those previous generations traveled before you and take your place among them. You will become lifelong members of an extended family who will support and inspire you. You will join them as future employees, graduate students, colleagues, and friends. But above all else, as collaborators in the work of building a better future. There's much that's broken in our society. As you look at these challenges and complexities, I encourage you to lean into the lessons you've learned and the connections you've made here at Cooper. Your Cooper community has taught you the value of embracing the unfamiliar. Be open to the frictions and divergences that are part of collective life. Let that become the wellspring of novel ideas, creative solutions, and the kind of work that inspires us to move forward. Class of 2024, now is your time to go forth with care and ambition. Together, you will demonstrate that a better world is possible, and you will lead others on the path that lies ahead. Congratulations. I will now welcome Nada Ayad, Associate Dean of the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, and Charlotte Wessel, Secretary of the Board of Trustees, to present the student awards.
Good morning. Each year, the faculty and deans recognize some of the extraordinary achievements of our graduates in each of the 3 professional schools with awards made possible by generous alumni and friends. On behalf of my colleagues, it is my pleasure to thank these benefactors for recognizing the tremendous potential of our students by creating the student prizes and awards listed in the program. The first award is the Irma Justino Wise Prize for Exceptional Creative Potential in Architecture or Art, which goes to Sebastian Maisry of the School of Art. Sebastian, come up. Thank you. Congratulations. The Jack and Natasha Gelman Foundation Award in Art goes to Jackson Bine of the School of Art. The Tony and David Yarnell Merit Award of Excellence in Architecture goes to Grace Sarah Ballo, Andrew Hebert, Mary Catherine Love, and Sheen Young Jong of the Irwin S. Channon School of Architecture. Please come up to get your awards. Thank you. The David and Tony Yarnell, congratulations. The David and Tony Yarnell Merit Award of Excellence in Art goes to Cerena Parkinson of the School of Art. Thank you. The Snarchitecture Commencement Prize goes to Augustine Robeson Crane, Martina Duque Gonzalez, Annie He, and Sarah Illich of the Irwin S. Channon School of Architecture. Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations. The Harold S. Goldberg Prize for Academic Achievement and Leadership in Engineering goes to Jenna Manfredi of the Albert Narkin School of Engineering. Congratulations. And the Martin J. Waters Memorial Award of Excellence in Art goes to Simon Garb of the School of Art.
I would now like to acknowledge members of our community who have earned emeritus status. While we extend this honor to recognize their distinguished careers, we are honored that these exceptional scholars chose to share their gifts with Cooper Union students, faculty, and staff. You can learn more about each of these treasured members of our community in your commencement program. Will this year's honorees and representatives please rise? Those who have earned emeritus status include librarian Claire Gunning, the late chemical engineering professor Daniel Lepek, he's represented today by David Kaufman and Lori Lepek. The late School of Art professor Margaret Morton, represented today by Bonnie Yokelson. Librarian Carol Solomon. And the late professor of architecture and former dean of the Irwin S. Channon School of Architecture, Anthony Vidler. Please join me in giving the entire group one last round of applause to these esteemed members of the Cooper Union. Now I'd like to call the Dean of Students, Chris Chamberlain, to the lectern to introduce our student speaker.
Good morning, everyone. Congratulations. To select the student who will speak on behalf of the graduating class at commencement, the Office of Student Affairs sponsors a senior speech competition, which is judged by a jury of invited faculty, students, and administrators. I am pleased to welcome Cerena Parkinson of the School of Art to deliver this year's address. Assembled guests, the 2024 senior class speaker, Cerena Parkinson.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for being here today. My heart is full of so much gratitude and so much joy because all of us have worked so hard to be here, and I cannot be more proud for our future that lies ahead. Another round of applause, please. Today, I'm so honored to present this gift to you, this speech that I've written because of how much appreciation I have for each and every one of you sitting in this crowd today. I know that as we embark on these new journeys in our lives, there will be so many things to test our faith, to challenge our abilities, but I am so confident that each and every one of us are prepared for this challenge in more ways than we even know. If someone dares tell you to forget the distance of your journey, show them the dirt beneath your feet and tell them to count the miles that you have walked. Tell them that the road behind you was not clear when you found it, but that your sacrifices and the sacrifices of those before you have given them a comfortable passage through. Friends, family, distinguished guests, and faculty, it is my honor to welcome you here today in the spirit of joy and celebration on this momentous occasion. To my fellow graduates, it is with great pride that we gather here as the 164th graduating class of the Cooper Union, and for all of us, I say, congratulations. Today, I speak in reverence of the journeys that we have traveled to be here. Journeys that began many years before our lives converged in this truly special place. Let us rejoice in the lengths from which we have come, for it is by no small feat that we have made it here today. Many of us epitomize monumental firsts in our families. The first to migrate to this country, the first US-born generation of immigrant parents, and some of us, the first to graduate from college. It is within these firsts that we find the rich perseverance that has shaped who we are at this pivotal point in our lives, positioning us to make our world much better than we found it. This new era we are entering will bring a myriad of unknowns, unscripted possibilities, and uphill climbs. Yet, in the growing chapters of our lives, let us continue to embrace the challenges before us with patient hearts and strong minds. In knowing great success, we often grapple with the fear of falling or failing. But while one does not promise the other, there's a traditional character in the Caribbean that embraces the symbiosis of stumbling in order to soar, called the Moko Jambi. Moko Jambis of any age rise on tall stilts that hoist us high into the sky as we dance among the trees, many feet above the ground. We know that the ground we may fall on is not soft, and one day we all will probably meet it. But that is absolutely no reason to be held captive by fear. We often are caught in the state of what if we don't? What if we can't? But I encourage you to know that our greatest success is not measured only in our achievements. It shines through when we make a decision to get right back up after we've fallen and dance into our season like we've never danced before. I've been so fortunate to witness each and every one of you write your own destinies, not based on the heights to which you have risen, but as Frederick Douglass once said, from the depths that you have climbed. And I thank each and every one of you for this uncompromising inspiration. My greatest lessons in life come from those who, as my father would say, have seen many more breadfruit seasons than I have. Although there are no breadfruit trees here in the Great Hall, this proverb is an allegory of respect and appreciation for those who have drawn from their wells of experience and filled their watering cans with wisdom to nourish our growth. I use this proverb here to say that in each and every one of us, there is something that we have learned that when paid forward can bring the dreams of another to fruition. Never stop sharing your wealth of knowledge with the world. You never know whose life you can change. To our friends that have taught us to stretch canvases after hours, the ones who know the temperament of those Media Lab printers upstairs right before the pinup deadlines, and the patient ACE Lab technicians who resuscitated those 3D printers during a frantic midterm season, all while handling projects of your own, thank you for tending to this beautiful garden of knowledge that we all share. For our librarians and writing center associates who have taught us to be patient with our minds, thank you for knowing that the seeds of curiosity within us will grow to bear the fruits that will solve the greatest problems of our times. To our dedicated professors in engineering, architecture, art, and the humanities, you have shown us that the greatest investment that we can ever make is in ourselves, and that no challenge before us is too great to handle. But there are so many questions that still remain unanswered, and we're there to solve them. To our security guards who have reminded us the importance of breathing when the air supply during finals became undoubtedly thin, thank you for reminding us that in order to do the impossible, we must first count our many blessings. Thank you to our shop technicians for feeding the fire of excitement within us while bringing our projects to fruition. You don't know how many dreams you've made come true. To our buildings and ground staff, there are not enough words to thank you for taking meticulous care of this place, just as you take care of us. Your reassuring words of encouragement and pride in our creations give us the motivation to continue forward, and without your commitment to bringing our facilities to the highest standards, absolutely none of this would have been possible. Behind every project, every show, and every invention, there's a family. The ones we have chosen, the ones we've made, and the ones that we have found here. And I encourage all of us to continue to pour into this place no matter how far our journeys in life take us. Let us carry Peter Cooper's legacy of investment in unconventional minds wherever we go. Continue to nurture the values of courage, gratitude, compassion, and uncompromising curiosity in all that you do, in dedication of making a world and a future filled with boundless promise. Just as the Saturday program was my bridge to the Cooper Union 7 years ago, the next generation of great thinkers, great change makers, will travel across the bridges that you have built, to be educated in the buildings that you have designed, and reference your powerful artwork as they move mountains. So know this and know it well. Hold yourselves in high regard, and know that with your rich heart's passion, tomorrow is already ours. Congratulations, class of 2024, and thank you.
Thank you, Cerena. It is a long-standing tradition at the Cooper Union to honor distinguished alumni who have made important contributions to their respective professions and to society. The Presidential Citation recognizes creativity, achievement, and outstanding citizenship, and the recipients offer paragons of excellence for today's graduates as they embark on their own career paths. Student trustee Jaden Hammond will join me in presenting the Presidential Citations. This year's Presidential Citation in Architecture goes to Elizabeth Graziolo, a graduate of the class of 1995. Elizabeth, will you please come forward? For contributions to the field of architecture as the award-winning founder and principal of Yellow House Architects, noted for her elegant, balanced design work, and called by the New York Times, quote, an architect who forges in her own lane. For her support of young women entering the field and the mentorship she has provided Cooper Union students. For serving as a trustee of the Cooper Union for the advancement of science and art, and for the honor she has brought to the Cooper Union. Thank you, Elizabeth. The Presidential Citation in Art is awarded to Avery Singer, class of 2010. Will Avery Singer please come forward? For contributions to the field of art as a painter whose work mines the power of memory and the impact of collective trauma. For using an innovative combination of digital and analog techniques to make paintings that have been exhibited globally. For sharing her achievements with the Cooper Union community by opening doors for others and generously supporting the institution, and for the honor she has brought to the Cooper Union. Thank you, Avery. The Presidential Citation in Engineering goes to Kenneth Bridbord, a 1964 graduate in chemical engineering. For his contributions to disease prevention and global health as director of the Fogarty International Center of the National Institutes of Health, and for sharing his knowledge with the Cooper community as the pandemic unfolded. For his tireless efforts combating HIV and AIDS in developing countries. For his role in creating the initial federal health-based regulation to remove lead from gasoline. For his ongoing support of the Cooper Union mission through an endowed scholarship. And for the honor that he has brought to the Cooper Union. Thank you, Dr. Bridbord. The awarding of an honorary doctorate is the highest honor that can be bestowed by an institution of higher education. It signifies a lifetime of exceptional professional achievement and singles out individuals who embody the ethos, commitment to social responsibility, and creative spirit that reflect the institution's mission. This year, we are proud to award the honorary doctorate in humane letters to Kevin Slavin. Now I get to talk about you while you're up here. An entrepreneur, academic, and artist, Kevin Slavin is a 1995 graduate of the Cooper Union whose work spans the intersections between science, technology, and culture. An alumnus of Cooper's School of Art, Kevin's work has received multiple design awards, international technology patents, and extensive media coverage. Kevin co-founded Area Code in 2003, which developed some of the earliest technologies and designs for location-based services, and at the MIT Media Lab developed some of the earliest techniques for urban metagenomics, using honeybees to sense the microbial environment of cities. Kevin served as the Chief Science and Technology Officer for the Shed as it was being conceived and built in Hudson Yards. He currently serves as the head of creative and marketing for Ginkgo Biosecurity, where he applies his background in microbial sensing to public health and national security. Kevin is a creative whose work in education, tech, and the arts carries forward the kind of interdisciplinary thinking that Peter Cooper envisioned when he founded the Cooper Union for the advancement of science and art. His commitment to his alma mater and its mission is extraordinary, and we are very grateful for his ongoing service, from mentoring students to teaching to having served and led on our Board of Trustees from 2013 to 2021. It is my honor to welcome him to the Great Hall stage. Malcolm, will you please come forward to join us? Kevin Slavin, with the approval of the Board of Trustees of the Cooper Union for the Advancement of Science and Art, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the State of New York, I am pleased and honored to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, and admit you to all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. We now invest you with this hood, signifying this degree. Congratulations. Now it is my honor to present our commencement speaker, Kevin Slavin.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, I had a degree already, but the hood is new. That's cool. Okay, so when you all leave here and enter the world, you will end up in rooms, as I have ended up in rooms, and people will tell you there are no bad ideas here. And those people are wrong. There are terrible ideas, and some of them have shaped your entire lives. So today, as a kind of parting gift, I'm going to try and take one of those apart here on the stage and see if I can offer you an alternative as you go out into the world. For context, I graduated from the School of Art about 30 years ago, and then recently I spent 8 years on the board. And what that means is that I have heard a lot of commencement speeches on this stage. And so I'm going to open it today by telling you about the worst one, like just let me set the lowest possible bar. Okay? So this is a kid delivering his year's student commencement, and he reads 15 minutes of cut-up quotes from the last 20 years of commencement speeches, like nearly all of them saying basically the same things over and over again. And just, oh God, is what I want to say about that. It's just like, oh God. And there was a kind of cynicism to it, you know, as if to say that if everybody always says the same things, how could any of it matter? And then the early punchline in this talk is that, of course, that student was me, right? When I was young, 29 years ago. It's like super painful to remember. It was also painful, I'm sure, to endure. That talk came from basically an emotional place. Mostly it was loneliness, isolation, I would say, just feeling tiny. And it was downstream, I would say, of misunderstanding this whole idea of the self in the first place. And this is, or at least it was when I was here, that was, in a way, part of the education of an artist, right? It was to become the smallest possible entrepreneur, which is what Joseph Beuys used to say. So that talk was bad, but it was kind of a derivative of this larger, really bad idea. And the really bad idea was the concept of the autonomous, discrete individual in the first place. That is the destructive, toxic idea. So there's an alternative, which I'm going to offer you as you depart, and it's a simple scientific idea, which is that who you think you are is just a fraction, just a shadow of what you actually are. So it is, of course, normal, it's reasonable to consider yourselves individuals, some kind of discrete container, but then every story that we're told is basically kind of predicated on that lie. And as Americans in particular, we fetishize that, right? Like the notion of the individual is sort of it's the unit of currency for our rights and our money and liberty and guns and diplomas, right? We're here today to celebrate this idea, right? That you made it or that you did it. You know, that's actually why we're here. And so everything about us, everything around us is sort of built up on this idea, an individual on their way to enlightenment or success or achievement or whatever it is. So my offer today is to kind of dismantle that and sell it for parts. So it's commencement. And if we can't take this opportunity to take apart the lies that you've been living with your whole life, what are we even going to talk about? So I trained here as an artist. These days I work day to day pretty deep in biotech, in the public health and national security piece. My work as an artist in the chapters where I've been able to engage it has always kind of integrated and demanded real technological and scientific expertise. And then over the years, it's also flipped back the other way. So I'm going to talk about this sort of mistaken notion of the individual today through both lenses, both science and art. And I'll start with science because I've learned fewer people argue with science. Not nobody, but maybe nobody here. So science is here to say that none of you arrived here as individuals, and none of you will graduate here as individuals either. And I don't mean that in a kind of like declarative pronoun kind of way. I mean that there's actually no scientific basis for the premise, right? There's no scientific basis to believe that a person, you, should ever have been considered or considered yourself as an individual organism. So what I'm saying is that in addition to the 23 chromosomes that you got at birth, we call that nature. In addition to the 20 years of upbringing that you've had that we call nurture, there's also something else that forms you, and let's call that a network. Nature, nurture, network. The network is made out of everything you see and everyone you know, but what is sort of at the core of a lot of my work and a lot of my thinking these days is that it's also made out of everything that you don't see, right? That's actually what forms the network. So like each one of you brought here today, for example, somewhere around 50 million microbes in your gut on average. Some of you maybe more than others, right? But that's an average for each of you. And that is everything that you've ever eaten, breathed, or touched, everything you're exchanging here right now with the people next to you, and then later over lunch, right? And those microbes, every one of the 50 million or so, has its own DNA, not yours, and they're alive, and they are, to some degree, autonomous. And they're not just in your gut, they're in your skin, in your mouth, and then case by case, they may be in your brain right now. They may be in your brain right now, embedded in the cognitive action of listening to whatever this guy on the stage is saying. So let me give you an example, which is Toxoplasma gondii, which is what you thought we were going to talk about today, right? So let's take Toxoplasma gondii, for example. So that's a microbe, it's 14 chromosomes, and you get that, one good way to get it is by cleaning kitty litter, right? And it works its way into your head, it works its way into your brain, and then it changes how you make decisions. Right? So specifically and statistically, it makes you engage in substantively riskier behaviors. How you drive, how you mate, whatever it is that you do that's risky gets riskier with this little microbe in your brain. And that riskier behavior is not for your benefit, it's to help the microbe spread. And statistically, roughly 700 of you in the room are carrying that right now, in your gut, maybe in your brain. And the thing is that if you are one of those 700 people here today with a kind of microscopic co-pilot, how would you know? How do you know, right? That's the bottom line here, right? It's like, how do you know where you, as an individual, begin or end? If somebody's phobic about water, I mean like actually phobic and just about water, like that's how doctors know that there's a lyssavirus in play, right? The lyssavirus gets into your brain, gets you to stop drinking water. Why? So that you'll salivate and drool. So that if you're the bitey type, when you bite somebody, the microbe has a stronger chance of transmission, right? So when you're infected, you start avoiding water. That's not what you want, that's what the microbe wants. So other microbes can, I should say, and mostly are, much more benign in their impact. My wife, who's here, was pregnant with our daughter 10 years ago. Her taste, my wife's taste, what she wanted to eat, that changed. That's not news to anybody. But it's not just hormones that change that. It's exogenous DNA that changed that. It's my DNA, right, which was now being shed by our daughter as her cells were replicating in the womb. Right? So exogenous DNA that changes desire. Right? My wife's a vegetarian, but our daughter had my taste, not hers. And then, want is a funny thing when there's more than one of you at any given time, is my point. Right? So the brain of a mother becomes, like my neuroscientist wife would describe it, a bit like a mosaic. And it's also true that she asked me to specify that that's about the species and not just her, because that's how scientists get really specific about this kind of thing. Okay, so more broadly, a new mother's behavior itself changes, not just because of the sort of like cultural and personal constructions around motherhood, and not just because of hormones, but because of foreign DNA that she may be carrying for life. That's what I mean by a network. So this is the thing, whether you have toxoplasmosis or not, whether you're a mother or not, your behavior, your attitude, your capabilities, your desires, your taste, all of that may not belong to nature or nurture or chromosomes or culture. It may belong to other organisms altogether, as unaware of your presence as you are of theirs, and yet their influence could be greater than, in quotes, your own. And so I should be clear at this point that I'm not saying that there's no individual humans. I'm saying that there's no individual organisms at all, anywhere, of any type. I mean, birds and bees and flowers and trees, there's not an individual among them. If you look at coral, like underwater coral, it looks like a tree. It's actually just a million tiny animals working together. No idea what they're making. And if you are sure that you are distinct from that model as a superorganism, what is it that makes you sure about that? There's this great quote from a kind of disreputable philosopher who thought about these things a couple hundred years ago, and he wrote this. He wrote, "Every organism of appreciable size is a society. Every organism of appreciable size is a society." So now, let me tell the same story, but with art. I learned this years ago. I was reading Philip Gorovich, and he talks about the responsibility of the artist is to build the imagination of something real, to build the imagination of the things that are real. So I'll describe some work from Maria Teresa Alves, who graduated with the BFA from Cooper Union. And if you were in Brooklyn 7 years ago, you might have seen her project, Seeds of Change. So her work is based on her research on what she calls ballast flora, referring to plants that grow in port cities like New York that aren't native and which arrived in a specific way as ballast. So for hundreds of years, for colonization, for capital, and for conflict, you got these ships moving across the Atlantic, and they would bring their cargo one way, but they can't go back empty. The ship needs to have weight, so they would just pick up rocks from wherever they were, and they would use that to weight down the ship to safeguard the trip home. The thing is that those rocks that they picked up carried dirt, and the dirt carried seeds. And so it was that for hundreds of years, captains were transporting seeds across the ocean completely unaware of their silent migration, completely unaware how much of their cargo was alive. So the unexpected outcome, which is hundreds of years later, are the ballast gardens of Maria Teresa Alves, right, where she nurtures these kind of silent migrants like marigold and ficus and Aruca sativa. These are flowers from Brazil, Sweden, and Spain that should not be growing on 8th Avenue, but they do. So now, just like no captain was ever aware of how much live freight that they were carrying, just close your eyes for a second and imagine being that captain. And like those captains, most of you are unaware of how much live freight you brought here today, or how much more you'll bring home. But the hidden seeds on the ships didn't really have any agency on what the captain did or didn't do, as opposed to you, because your live cargo, whether it's Toxoplasma gondii or your partner's DNA, definitely shapes your journey. So you're maybe not exactly the captain. And at this point, you must be asking yourself, all that may be true, but does any of this matter? So in my grandfather's lifetime, not that long ago, in Tennessee, you could actually be banned for teaching Charles Darwin's ideas, right? And maybe again next year. Let's see what happens. So Charles Darwin, the geologist, right? You know the geologist, Charles Darwin. He was supposed to be studying coral. That was his job, right? And he described coral, he wrote about it, little creatures coming together. None of these little creatures has the slightest idea what it is achieving. It just happens. He's supposed to be studying rocks, Charles Darwin. But while he was supposed to be thinking about coral, this geologist, Charles Darwin, was secretly writing a story of evolutionary biology, erasing humans from the center and moving us out to this like young, fragile branch of the sort of ancient tree of life. And so the thing about Charles Darwin is that he worked on that story in secret for 20 years. Didn't tell anybody. That's how dangerous it was as a story. And when he confided about it to a letter to his friend, he wrote this. He wrote, "It's like confessing to a murder." Like confessing to a murder, Charles Darwin. And it's true, because some stories are murderous, right? It was stories that killed the idea that humans were at the center of anything, right? The center of the universe or history or the tree of life. And for those stories, you could be banned, you could be burned alive. So today's murderous story is about removing humans not just from the center of all that, but also from just the whole false framework of the center of yourselves. The center of any organism, right? The idea of the center is what falls apart. So it's just a story, the idea that we are all of us, they and them, and more like coral than we might like to consider, each of us full of little creatures that don't have the slightest idea of what they're achieving, just happening anyway. So that's science, but it's also a story, and then we treat stories like visitors. We treat them as like a thing where you open it up, you know, and they show up, and you host them, and you hang out, and then they leave. But that's not really how stories work, right? Stories are much more like viruses, because sometimes when they arrive, they alter the host. You change with the story, even without remembering the story, without any greater awareness of the presence of the story or the effects of the story. No greater awareness than you would have if there was a tapeworm rooting around in your brain, right? Stories change your mind, they change your body. And if you want to know how art or science changes our world, and we would all agree that the world needs changing, you have to start by acknowledging that stories change people. When people were burned alive for telling a story, that's proof how much they matter. So the science is the science, but the story is what changes our lives. So what is this story, this myth of the individual, this truth that each of you individually is a society? Does that matter? I would say, yeah. It could matter, right? It matters because the story itself is part of what's going to shape you, right? How you move through the world, how you show up. You live in exchange with all this airborne information, right? Some of it is narrative, some of it's genetic. These microbes, these stories could be an airborne respiratory virus, could be a TikTok video, right? Each of these has its own ideas about what success means that may or may not be in alignment with your own. And each one of them will genuinely shape you and reshape you. And if you understand that, then once exposed, you understand that you carry this information, but you can't control its effects. This is not to sound nihilistic about it, just because you can't control it, although, indeed, you can't really control it. But successful societies don't function through control, right? They function through governance, and governance sucks, right? It's hard, it's really hard, and it's even harder to do well, and it requires an immense humility. But that, I think, is what each of us actually deserves, is to understand ourselves as stewards for our so-called selves. Not like captains, like stewards, right? The captain controls the destination, stewards care for the journey. Gardening, this is Brian Eno, gardening, not architecture. Sorry, architects. And if it needs to be said, there's also sort of this fiction of an individual institution. Cooper Union's not an island in the sea, it's just a node in the network, a big one, an important one. But it's also true with the core disciplines that you've been even trained for, whether it's art, architecture, engineering. I know you're graduating today, but you surely already understand that any of these disciplines is just a starting point, right? Like you, all of you, like whatever it is you've got is weakened in isolation, right? It's strengthened by exposure to just about anything at all. So, I think back to this cringeworthy student address I gave 30 years ago, just quotes from the last 20 years. Oh, God. But in retrospect, it wasn't really cynicism, I think, maybe, that led me to build that whole thing out of quotes. I think, instinctively, I was maybe just grappling with the kind of myth and the fiction of my individual's journey to the stage. So each of you accomplished this today, right? And it's amazing what you've done. I know how hard it is, and it's amazing what you've done, right? But you did that with hard work, you did that with 50 million microbes, you did that with 900 other students, even the students you hate, all of you together in a room today for the very last time. So maybe what I was trying to say back then without really knowing it, or definitely not saying it, is that it doesn't start with you or end with you. That's real commencement speech stuff, right? We'll put it in at the end. You accomplish this together with the people that you brought here. You graduates with the people that you brought here. This is the people who love you, whatever that means, right? And as surely as your DNA may live forever in somebody else's body, the people who brought you here today are embedded inside your accomplishment today, also forever, also. So every organism of appreciable size is a society. So don't stop paying attention to the society that you're in. Don't do that. But start paying close and careful attention to the society that you are. Graduate, you grow, but you grow through accretion. Some of it's intentional, some of it's unintentional. And then you figure out how to integrate that. And the growth comes from realizing how much more you are than yourself. How much more you are than yourself. And then tending to all of that thoughtfully, the way Maria Teresa Alves tends to the gardens of migrant seeds. Okay, so commencement speeches are supposed to end on advice. Mine is just this: grow, right? Grow to that appreciable size, become a society, and multiply. Multiply and go forth. Thanks.
Thank you, Kevin. And now, the moment we have gathered for, the conferring of degrees on all those who have completed the requirements in their disciplines. Dean Barry Shoup of the Albert Nurkin School of Engineering will present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees in engineering.
Will the candidates please rise? President Sparks, I now have the honor to present to you the candidates for the baccalaureate degree in engineering or the Bachelor of Science degree in engineering who have completed all requirements within the Albert Nurkin School of Engineering.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the Albert Nurkin School of Engineering, with the approval of the Board of Trustees of the Cooper Union, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the State of New York, I hereby confer upon all qualified candidates the Bachelor of Engineering degree or the Bachelor of Science in Engineering degree, and gladly admit you to all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereunto. Congratulations. Associate Dean Ruben Savitsky will now call graduates to the stage, beginning with chemical engineering.
Got it? All right, awesome. Thank you. Will Trustee Marshall Rafal please come forward to greet these graduates? We will now present the civil engineering graduates. Chemical. Sorry, just kidding. Chemical. Making sure you're paying attention. Let's start with chemical engineering. Yue-Ling Chen. Na-Yun Choi. Cum laude graduate and recipient of the Robert Spice Fund Prize, Mohammed Samin Islam. In Hyuk Jun. Summa cum laude graduate, recipient of the Howard M. Siegel Memorial Prize, the Elmer J. Baden Chemistry Award, the American Institute of Chemists Student Award, the John L. Bove Organic Chemistry Achievement Award, and also a minor in chemistry, Pavlos Koronakis. Sung Ho Lim. Matthew Liu. Nicholas Tyler Louis. Pauline Fan. Cum laude graduate, recipient of the New York American Chemical Society Excellence in Chemistry Award, the John L. Bove Organic Chemistry Achievement Award, the New York American Chemical Society Award, and also a minor in chemistry, Mohammed Rakib. Cum laude graduate, recipient of the Service to the School Award to Alumni Affairs and Development, and a minor in bioengineering, Jared Christian Seeley. Summa cum laude graduate, recipient of the Louis Gleekman Memorial Prize, the Best Overall Chemical Engineering Senior Project, and the IDC Foundation Innovation Fellowship, Nada Shatewi. Lisa Taglia. Recipient of a minor in bioengineering, Donald Tang. Recipient of the Best Overall Chemical Engineering Senior Project, Michelle Wang. Cum laude graduate, Kyle Wong. Cum laude graduate and recipient of the William C. and Esther Hoffman Beller Prize, Wesley Wong. Receiving a minor in bioengineering as well as the Best Overall Chemical Engineering Senior Project, Sabrina Zhou. How about now we do civil engineering? We will now present the civil engineering graduates. Atib Amjid. Alexis Boniface. A.B. Campos. Cum laude graduate, Hugh Ying Chen. Scott Han Chen. Frederick Seonghwan Choi. Alan Dong. John Eladem. Cum laude graduate and recipient of the William C. and Esther Hoffman Beller Prize, Elias Encarnacion. Rachel Eng. Recipient of a minor in mathematics, Samuel Hui. Sayed Yahya Ismail. Magna cum laude graduate, Rishabh Jain. Recipient of the Best Overall Civil Engineering Senior Project, Joshua Hayamov. Cum laude graduate, Burhan Khan. Cum laude graduate, Jacob Krebs. Jack Lee. David Otto Madrigal. Summa cum laude graduate, recipient of the Harold S. Goldberg Prize, as well as the Maxwell Linzer Prize, Jenna Manfredi. Patrick Michel. Afreen Mustafa. Summa cum laude graduate, Gila Rosenzweig. Best Overall Civil Engineering Senior Project, Nicole Shamayev. Cum laude graduate and recipient of a minor in computer science, Jacob Samuel Sigmund. Magna cum laude graduate, Derek Tang. Cum laude graduate, recipient of the William C. and Esther Hoffman Beller Prize and the Best Overall Civil Engineering Senior Project, Alan Siegelman. Magna cum laude graduate and recipient of the Joseph Kalb Fund Prize, Sophia Zhao. We will now present the electrical engineering candidates. Will Trustee Brian Steinwurzel please come forward to greet these graduates? Recipient of the Best Overall Electrical Engineering Senior Project, minor in HSS, Economics and Public Policy, and a minor in Computer Science, Nishat Ahmed. Summa cum laude graduate, recipient of the Abraham Pletman Memorial Fund Prize, the Jesse Sherman EE Class of 33 Book Award, the Electrical Engineering Design Prize, and the Essay Award for Second Year Core Curriculum, Shabir Ahmed Al-Hossein. Recipient of a minor in Computer Science, Darren Chow. Magna cum laude graduate, Edward Chen. Magna cum laude graduate, Kai-Xian Chen. Thomas Kaur. Cum laude graduate, Haley H. Dave. Summa cum laude graduate, Eitan Kaminer Khazi. Cum laude graduate, recipient of the Best Overall Electrical Engineering Senior Project and a minor in Computer Science, Yuri Ray Ming Hu. We have a dual degree, Bachelor's and Master's of Engineering and Electrical Engineering, and cum laude graduate, Colin Wong. Cum laude graduate, double minor in computer science and mathematics, Serene Joe. Summa cum laude graduate, a recipient of the Harold Irwin Rue Prize, Brian Ben Chaimov. Magna cum laude graduate, recipient of the William C. and Esther Hoffman Beller Prize and the Best Interdisciplinary Capstone Project, as well as a minor in computer science, Jacob Khalili. Summa cum laude graduate, recipient of the Jesse Sherman EE Class of 33 Book Award and a double minor in computer science and mathematics, Fakhriyar Shamim Khan. Summa cum laude graduate, recipient of the Harold Keel Fund Prize, as well as the Dale E. Zand Prize, Jin Wook Lee. Cum laude graduate, recipient of the Harold Keel Fund Prize, the Best Overall Electrical Engineering Senior Project, and a minor in computer science, Faith Lin. Receiving a minor in computer science, Ahmad Yusuf Malik. Summa cum laude graduate, recipient of the Eugene Oger Memorial Award and a minor in computer science, Eliza Meller. Shion Mizuguchi. Evan Murphy. Cum laude graduate, as well as recipient of the Best Interdisciplinary Capstone Project Prize, Tyler Pelayo. Summa cum laude graduate, recipient of the Jesse Sherman EE Class of 33 Book Award and a minor in computer science, John Pluchino. Summa cum laude graduate, recipient of the Jesse Sherman Class of 33 EE Book Award, the Electrical Engineering Design Prize, and a minor in computer science, Giuseppe Quarantino. Summa cum laude graduate and recipient of the Leon Maches Prize, Dipto Saha. Dongmin Shin. Cum laude graduate and a double minor in HSS, Economics and Public Policy and Computer Science, Nicholas Singh. Cum laude graduate, recipient of the Best Interdisciplinary Capstone Project Prize and a minor in Computer Science, David Steckel. Recipient of the CV Star Foundation Scholarship, Christina Stapura. Best Overall Electrical Engineering Senior Project and a minor in Computer Science, Nicolette Thero. Daniel Sarev. Recipient of the Electrical Engineering Design Prize, Halil Turan. Summa cum laude graduate, Henry D. Dickinson Award, the Jesse Sherman EE Class of 33 Book Award, the Irvin Leon Lynn Memorial Prize, Class of 1907 Award, Charles Goodwin Essay Award in Humanities, minor in Mathematics, and also perfect 4.0 GPA. Congratulations. Yes. Catherine Van West. That's a tough act to follow, sorry. Magna cum laude graduate, recipient of the Nicholas M. Stefano Prize, the Daly Zan Prize, and a minor in Mathematics, Jungwoo Yoon. We will now present the mechanical engineering graduates. Afifa Aria. Summa cum laude graduate, recipient of the William C. and Esther Hoffman Beller Prize, the Service to the School Award in Engineering, and a minor in Computer Science, Benjamin Azail. Summa cum laude graduate, recipient of the Wallace Chinitz Prize, the IDCU Foundation Innovation Fellowship, and a minor in computer science, Vlad Brashansky. Cum laude graduate, Sahabi Bhuti. John Cecil. Summa cum laude graduate, Jason Chen. Recipient of the Nicholas M. Stefano Prize and a minor in computer science, Irene Wan Choi. Receiving a minor in computer science, Kyle Dialal. Cum laude graduate, Maya Grutman. Cum laude graduate, minor in HSS, Economics and Public Policy, Ahmed Hassan. Cum laude graduate, Jason He. Magna cum laude graduate, Ángel Ignacio Jiménez Vascones. Recipient of the Mechanical Engineering Design Prize, as well as a minor in mathematics, Jia Jin. Shireen Nishat Khan. Summa cum laude graduate and recipient of a minor in computer science, Kushant Kurana. Minor in HSS, Economics and Public Policy, Daniel Min Kim. Summa cum laude graduate, recipient of the Harry W. Reddick Award and a minor in mathematics, N.Q. Kim. Getting a minor in bioengineering, Hyung-seop Harry Kim. Cum laude graduate, Jung Jun Kim. Summa cum laude graduate, recipient of the Nicholas M. Stefano Prize and a minor in computer science, Evan Kluger. Leong-ho Richard Lam. For our next graduate, we have a special guest announcer, Associate Dean of Engineering, Lisa Shea.
Matthew Peter Leach.
All right, I guess it's back to me. Kan Hyuk Chris Lee, cum laude graduate and minor in computer science. Summa cum laude graduate, recipient of the William G. Hunt Class of 1905 Fund Prize and a minor in computer science, Calder Lepich. Recipient of the Best Capstone Showcase Prize, Scott Lasirisup. Magna cum laude graduate, recipient of the Harold Irwin Rue Prize and the Best Capstone Showcase Prize, Kevin Christopher Luo. Best Capstone Showcase Prize, Evan Lachana Luchmidat. Summa cum laude graduate, recipient of the Henry D. Dickinson Award, the Alexander C. Grove Memorial Prize, minor computer science, and also another person with a perfect 4.0 GPA, which, yeah. Benjamin Miner. Summa cum laude graduate, recipient of the Nicholas M. Stefano Prize, the Frank Caldiero Humanities Award, and a minor in bioengineering, Michelle Eliza Miner. Receiving a minor in bioengineering, Randall Placino. Christos Potamianos. Receiving a minor in bioengineering, Fayyad Sarkar. Recipient of the Mechanical Engineering Design Prize and a minor in computer science, Neil Sawhney. Levi Isaac Sheridan. Cum laude graduate and receiving a minor in HSS, Economics and Public Policy, Petros Sklavonous. Cum laude graduate and recipient of the Best Interdisciplinary Capstone Project Prize, Joseph Sutton. Cum laude graduate, recipient of the Raymond G. Brown Memorial Prize, double minor in HSS, Economics and Public Policy and Computer Science, Ariel Tamayev. Recipient of the Best Capstone Showcase Prize, Daniel Teteryatnik. Summa cum laude graduate, recipient of the Mechanical Engineering Design Prize and a minor in Computer Science, Preston Shrew. Magna cum laude graduate, recipient of the Nicholas M. Stefano Prize and the Harold Urban Rue Prize, Heejong Yang. Emily P. Zhao. Cum laude graduate, Daniel Zaretsky. We will now present the Bachelor of Science in Engineering graduates. Magna cum laude graduate and a minor in computer science, Alexander Chung. Cum laude graduate, double minor, HSS, Economics and Public Policy and Computer Science, Ha-Yun Chung. Double minor in Bioengineering and Chemistry, Emma S. Cohen. Arman Kapoor. Receiving a minor in Computer Science, Hengnan Ma. Recipient of a double minor in Bioengineering and Chemistry, Siddhartha Pinto. We will now present the Master of Science in Engineering graduates. Oh, sorry, that's Barry.
We're back on? There we go. We will now present the Master of Science in Engineering graduates. Will Trustee Judith Fryer please come forward to greet the graduates? Will the candidates for Master of Science in Engineering degrees please rise? President Sparks, I now have the honor to present to you the candidates for the Master of Science in Engineering degree who have completed all requirements for the degree within the Maurice Canbar Institute of Graduate Studies of the Albert Nurkin School of Engineering.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the Albert Nurkin School of Engineering, with the approval of the Board of Trustees of the Cooper Union, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the State of New York, I hereby confer upon all qualified candidates the Master of Engineering degree and gladly admit you to all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereunto. Congratulations.
We're going to start with Masters of Engineering in Chemical Engineering, recipient of the Henry C. Enders Fellowship, Iram Rahman. Master of Engineering degree in Civil Engineering, Hasim Akhlaq. Master of Engineering in Civil Engineering, Kevin Charles. Master of Engineering in Civil Engineering, Chrisana Peggy Chen. Master of Engineering, Civil Engineering, Humin Chu. Master of Engineering, Civil Engineering, Basil Khan. Master of Engineering in Civil Engineering as well, Avery Giuseppe Kugler. Master of Engineering in Civil Engineering, Syed Naqvi. Master of Engineering in Civil Engineering, Borai Toktai. Master of Engineering in Civil Engineering, Jason Tin Hun Wan. Master of Engineering in Civil Engineering, Jeffrey Wong. And Master of Engineering in Civil Engineering, Benny Haobin Wu. Masters of Engineering, Civil Engineering, Edward Slotsky. All right, moving on to Masters of Engineering in Electrical Engineering, Anthony Belladonna. Rebecca Faye Didia. In case you missed him the first time, dual degree candidate Colin Huang, Master's and Bachelor's in Electrical Engineering. Gabriel Kepitz. Daniel Kim. Aiden Shankman. Recipient of the Bioengineering Graduate Research Fellowship, Jeanette Searcy. Achyuth Sai Dulipudi. Nathaniel Fiorino. Jordan Taylor Clark. Okay, let's congratulate all our graduates one more time.
Acting Dean Haley Eber of the Erwin S. Channon School of Architecture will now present the candidates for Bachelor of Architecture.
Will the candidates please rise? Woohoo. President Sparks, I now have the honor to present to you the candidates for the bachelor's degree in architecture who have completed all requirements for the degree within the Erwin S. Channon School of Architecture.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the Erwin S. Channon School of Architecture and with the approval of the Board of Trustees of the Cooper Union, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the State of New York, I hereby confer upon all qualified candidates the degree of Bachelor of Architecture and gladly admit you to all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereunto. Congratulations.
Will trustees Maurice Cox and Jamie Levitt please come forward to greet these graduates? And will Dr. Demetrius Udell call graduates to the stage?
Recipient of Cooper Union Grant Program, Jihu Han. Recipient of the Allen Goldfish Memorial Award and William Cooper Mack Thesis Fellowship, Abdul Razak Ala Abdul Mungi. Jameen Bake. Recipient of the Service to the School Award in Architecture, Layla Elizabeth Baker. Recipient of the Tony and David Yarnell Merit Award, William Cooper Mack Thesis Fellowship, Grace Sarah Balo. Recipient of the Allen Goldfish Memorial Award, Ezekiel Benz. Recipient of the Benjamin Menschel Fellowship for Creative Inquiry, Aaron Chavez. CJ Chen. Recipient of the Benjamin Menschel Fellowship for Creative Inquiry, Denise Cholula. Recipient of the George Ledley Fund Annual Prize, IDC Foundation Innovation Fellowship, Eleanor Allwork Scholarship Center for Architecture, Jin Yong Chung. Recipient of the Snarchitecture Commencement Prize, Augustine Robeson Crane. Recipient of the Benjamin Menschel Fellowship for Creative Inquiry and a minor in Humanities and Social Sciences, Philosophy, History, and Society, Elias Dills. Recipient of the Snarchitecture Commencement Prize, the American Institute of Architects Medals, the Service to the School Award in Architecture, the Arthur Thomas '64 Thesis Fellowship, and a minors in Humanities and Social Sciences, History and Society, Martina Duque Gonzalez. Alex Jahek Han. Recipient of the Snarchitecture Commencement Prize, Annie He. Recipient of the Tony and David Yarnell Merit Award, the William Cooper Mack Thesis Fellowship, the Diane Lewis Memorial Architectural Travel Fellowship in Search of Civic Space, and a minor in Humanities and Social Sciences, History and Society, Andrew Hebert. Recipient of the Arthur Thompson's Thesis Fellowship, Jiwan Jenny Hale. Recipient of the Snarchitecture Commencement Prize and the Arthur Thompson Thesis Fellowship, Sarah Illich. Recipient of the George Liddy Fund Annual Prize, the IDC Foundation Innovation Scholarship, Professional Women in Construction New York Chapter Scholarship, Rua Gia. Recipient of the Benjamin Menchel Fellowship for Creative Inquiry, Rebecca John. Minor in Humanities and Social Sciences, Art History, Austin Lai. Recipient of the Tony and David Yarnell Merit Award, the Afro Chi Medal, the Service to the School Award in Architecture, and the Arthur Thompson Thesis Fellowship, and a minor in Humanities and Social Sciences, History and Society, MC Love. Recipient of the Peter Bruder Memorial Fund Annual Prize, the William Cooper Mack Thesis Fellowship, the Concrete Industry Foundation Scholarship, and the KPF Traveling Fellowship, Yuan Mung. Daniel Park. Minor in Humanities and Social Sciences, Economics and Public Policy, Kaivna Jagru Patel. Recipient of the Abraham E. Kazan Award for Urban Design, the Service to the School Award in Architecture, the Sue Ferguson Gosso Scholarship, and a minor in Humanities and Social Sciences, History and Society, Julia Pinchasade Robert. Recipient of the Tony and David Yarnell Merit Prize, and a minor in Humanities and Social Sciences, Economics and Public Policy, Shi-Wan Cheng. We should now present degrees of Masters in Architecture.
Will the candidates for the Master of Science in Architecture please rise? President Sparks, I now have the honor to present to you the candidates for the Master of Science in Architecture degree who have completed all requirements for the degree within the Owen S. Channon School of Architecture.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the Erwin S. Channon School of Architecture, and with the approval of the Board of Trustees of the Cooper Union, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the State of New York, I hereby confer upon all qualified candidates the degree of Master of Science in Architecture and gladly admit you to all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereunto. Congratulations.
Yusen Jung. Kaimin Lee. Jingqi Kai Liu. Daniel Matalana. Chenyan Wang. Yenchen Zhu. That concludes the degrees in architecture.
Acting Dean Adriana Farmiga of the School of Art will present the candidates for the Bachelor of Fine Arts.
Will the candidates please rise? President Sparks, I now have the honor to present you the candidates for the Bachelor of the Fine Arts degree who have completed all their respective requirements within the School of Art. On the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Art, with the approval of the Board of Trustees of the Cooper Union, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the State of New York, I hereby confer upon all qualified candidates the degree of Bachelor of Fine Arts and gladly admit you to all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereunto. Congratulations. Will Trustee Dr. James Rowling please come forward to greet these graduates?
Minsu Kaylin Bay. Amani Janae Barnes. Vivian Baumann. Niña Ais Bautista. Recipient of the Jacques and Natasha Gelman Foundation Prize, Benjamin Fellowship for Creative Inquiry, and the Fred A. Lane Prize, Jackson Bine. Recipient of the Medici Book Award, minor in Humanities and Social Sciences, History and Theory of Art, Michelle Biaggi. Recipient of the Benjamin Minchell Fellowship for Creative Inquiry, Amanda Blanca. Marcus Alexander Brown. Recipient of the Elliott Lash Memorial Prize, Vincent Mill Carrick Memorial Prize, and a minor in Humanities and Social Sciences, Literature and Philosophy, Mayu Bikuk. Recipient of minor in Humanities and Social Sciences, History and Society, Christopher John Caselo. Hyo-ji Choi. Recipient of the Rhoda Lublin Fellowship, Sin-Yung Choi. Recipient of the Laura Miller Margolis Memorial Prize, Cameron Tindler Lurkis Prize, minor in Humanities and Social Sciences, History and Society, Aaron Ronald Coley. Recipient of the Michael S. Vivo Memorial Prize, the O'Brien Fellowship for Study Abroad, Juliette Collette. Leticia Soares de Castro. Recipient of the Dean's Award for Innovation in Time-Based Media, Karen Tindler Lurkis Prize, Ren Dorete. Recipient of the Henry Dropkin Award Fund Prize, the Rhoda Lublin Fellowship, minor in Humanities and Social Sciences, Literature and Philosophy, Tokto Dumeke. Recipient of the Rothenberg Fellowship, the Molly Lewenstein Scholarship, Nathan Hunter Finiak. Recipient of the Seavey Star Foundation Scholarship, Samuel David Finley. Trey Freeland. Elias Freeman. Recipient of the Rolf Herrim Paint Award, Joshua Fuller. Recipient of the Martin J. Waters Memorial Prize, the Raymond G. Brown Memorial Prize, the Eleanor Gay Lee Gallery Foundation Scholar Award, Simon Garb. Mira Gouache. Recipient of the Ellen Gay Lee Gallery Foundation Scholar Award, the James Craig and Irene Scholar Designing with Type Award, minor in Humanities and Social Sciences, Literature and Philosophy, Magnus Gomed Shaba. Recipient of the Elliott Nash Memorial Prize, Pauline Grishina. Recipient of the Service to the School Award in Art, minor in Humanities and Social Sciences, Literature and Philosophy, Charles P.K. Hartnell. Recipient of the O'Brien Fellowship for Study Abroad, Quentin Henry. Recipient of the Sarah Cooper Hewitt Fund Prize, Roxy Jamin. Recipient of the Pietro and Alfreda Montana Prize, Kai T.B. Jenrette. Recipient of the Betty Golden Memorial Fund Prize, Ethan Kramer. Recipient of the Michelle S. Vivo Memorial Prize, Ileana Sitali Lara. Caitlin Lau. Recipient of the Elliott Lash Memorial Prize, minor in History and Social Sciences, Literature and Philosophy, Frankie Clara Lowe. Recipient of the Pietro Alfreda Montana Prize, Nicole Roberto Lowe. Tamika Lungu. Recipient of the Rhoda Lubalin Fellowship, Ray Chi Ma. Tiana Mary Maldonado. Recipient of the A.A. Lowe Fund Prize, Benjamin Mitchell Fellowships for Creative Inquiry, Stella Black Martone. Recipient of the Irma Gustino Vice Prize, Sebastian Mazzari. Margaret McCarthy. Recipient of the Medici Award, Mason McConville. Recipient of the Ethan Cram Memorial Prize, the Dory Ashton Prize in Art History, Theory and Criticism, the Frank Caldiero Humanities Award, the Vincent Meal Carrick Memorial Prize, minor in Humanities and Social Sciences, History and Theory of Art, Clyde Nichols. Recipient of the Medici Award, the Vincent J. Meal Carrick Jr. Memorial Prize, Katie Huna Park. Recipient of the Tony and David Yarnell Merit Award, the Palmer Hayden Travel Fellowship, the Emma Agustina Weiss 45 Study Abroad Endowment Fund, the Sylvia Appleman Award, Yale Norfolk Summer Residency, Cerena Parkinson. Minor in Humanities, Social Sciences, Literature and Philosophy, Leonardo Pham. The Pietro and Alfreda Montana Prize, minor in Humanities and Social Sciences, Literature and Philosophy, Ruth Plum. Recipient of the Vina Tompkins Carroll Award, Alejandro Luciano Ponce. Christine Puelo. Recipient of the Medici Award, the Elizabeth Craig Memorial Prize, Benjamin Mitchell Fellowship for Creative Inquiry, minor in Humanities and Social Sciences, History and Theory of Art, and Literature and Philosopher, Mylene Rader. Inoa Robinson. Recipient of the Dean's Award for Innovation in Time-Based Media, Benjamin Mitchell Fellowships for Creative Inquiry, minor in Humanities and Social Sciences, History and Theory of Art, Eva Rodriguez Longvine. Recipient of the Richard Lewis Bloch Memorial Prize, Benjamin Mention Fellowships for Creative Inquiry, Rita Ross. Natalia Salas Porras. Lain Salazar. Recipient of the Michael S. Vivo Memorial Prize, minor in Humanities and Social Sciences, History and Theory of Art, Micheline Sator. Recipient of the Elizabeth Foundation for the Arts Roberta Blackburn Printmaking Award, Elalaya Sayer Desmond. Cassius Sonoke. Recipient of the Helen Dumbroff-Dorff Travel Fellowship, Derek Stone Road. Penelope Strajewski. Recipient of the Service to the School Award in Art, the Rhoda Lubalin Fellowship, minor in Humanities and Social Sciences, Literature and Philosophy, Orchid Sylvester. Marcia Thomas. Minor in Humanities and Social Sciences, History and Theory, History and Society, Amana Jewel Vieira. Annie Wang. Kitty Wang, also recipient of the Robert Breer Film Award. Kitty Wang. Naya Webb. Recipient of the Sarah Cooper Hewitt Fund Prize, the O'Brien Fellowship for Study Abroad, the Helen Dubroff Dorfman Travel Fellowship, Matthew Wilson. And last but not least, Camila Sabinska. That concludes the degrees in art.
Let's all give our graduates one final round of applause. I would now like to welcome the president of the Cooper Union Alumni Association, Ron Vogel, to the stage.
Thank you, Laura. Good morning. My name is Ron Vogel. I am the current president of the Cooper Union Alumni Association. First, I want to congratulate all of you graduates on this achievement. My graduation was 20 years ago, and it's the first time being back. I'm incredibly proud of all of you, what you had to deal with the pandemic and everything. I also welcome you as new alumni into the CUAA. For background, the CUAA is an all-volunteer group of alumni who give their time and talent in support of the Cooper Union. We are a place where you can meet friends who share the Cooper experience. We are a resource where you will meet generations of alumni who can mentor and help you grow your career. And most importantly, we are a place where you, as young graduates, can share your perspective and help ensure that this place, the Cooper Union, maintains its unique standing among academic institutions and within the fabric of New York. With that, I wish you all the best. The hardest part is behind you. I ask that you continue to support the school in any way you want. I hope that you do that by taking an active role in the CUAA. Share your voice, share your talents. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ron. Before we conclude the 164th commencement exercises, I'd like to invite you to receptions held in locations in this building and 41 Cooper Square amidst our incredible student work. Thank you all for being with us today. I ask that the audience please remain seated until the recessional has concluded. Platform party and graduates, please rise.